people to this week's Sports and Banter podcast. I'm Ellis. I'll be your host for the evening. Joining me on tonight's show, we have Roots. How you doing, Roots?
Yo, what's going on, Ellis? I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad at all. We've also got Hassan. How you doing, Hassan?
Good evening, guys.
Good. And Hakan, how you doing?
Yes, mate. I'm all right. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. So, coming up on tonight's show, we're going to have a quick debrief on England and their progression to next summer's Nation League finals in Portugal. And then we're going to introduce a new feature called the Sports and Banter Mastermind. And then we're going to go over the return of the Tinkerman. And then we're going to have Rant of the Week. I think Hakan's got a few things he wants to let off his chest, so beware for that. And already apologise for any foul and obsessive language that comes that way during there.
No, I ain't having it.
And then we can also discuss the potential return of the Snake, Samir Nasri, to the Premier League. And then we're going to close the show on Hakan's question of the week, which was the greatest goal scored in the Premier League. So we'll open up the show, guys.
Hang on, before we carry on, can I just get everybody press the like, subscribe button? You know what I mean? Makes a channel more visibility for other people to see. And yeah, man, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Spreading the word, that's what I like to hear.
Spreading the words, but not herpes. Keep yourself protected, man.
So, England, obviously, quite a dramatic finish. Coming from a goal down, getting back into the game, and then obviously Harry Kane's late winner, which is great. Just rolls on from what good account of ourselves we gave in the World Cup. One of the things that stood out to me is, yes, the World Cup did bring a massive feel-good factor back to the countries from a certain extent. But, I was almost slightly worried that, it would be a bit of a flash in the pan and, we'd eventually get found out being the typical defeatist Englishman here. But, it was almost when Kane scored the second, the things that stood out to me were the way the players celebrated together, the togetherness in the squad. It really does feel that Southgate is slowly starting to build something. When we've heard players, especially from what was dubbed the golden generation, how the Liverpool players and Man United players didn't mix and so forth, that sort of thing seems really to have gone out the window. And you've only got to look at how all the players from different clubs celebrate with each other now, especially for England. I think it's also telling that in this England squad, you've possibly only got the likes of Walker and John Stones that are probably won major honours. The rest of the squad haven't, and Sterling to a certain extent haven't won anything. I think it's quite exciting for the England team at the moment. I can't really get my head around the format of the Nations League finals, but we're through to a semi-final competition in the sun next summer in Portugal. I mean, what do you guys think? I'll open that up to Roots. You can go first, mate. Okay. Sorry for the technical errors. Hack, do you want to... Roots, you with us?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I'm
sorry.
I'm not too good on these technical things. But good result by England. And to be fair, it needed to be after that farcical friendly, whatever they want to call that thing there last week. To be honest, I wasn't too happy and I wasn't even going to watch the match today. But no, I'm glad I did. I watched the first half. To be honest, I didn't watch the second half, but I did watch the first half. First half, I thought we started good. Tempo was good, high, created some good chances. We was a bit. I think we got a bit too comfortable at times, though, and at the back we was a bit open a couple of times. But I think overall, I was very impressed with the first half. Again, I think what Gareth Southgate is bringing to the table is, to be fair, is exciting. The youngsters that are coming through. I'm just glad that it's finally, after how many years of boring football, we've finally seen some promising, good attacking football. It feels like
definitely. I almost gave up on watching England at one point because you could almost predict how it was going to be, and
Yeah,
was just
man.
boring, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like I knew that. I mean, before I could watch England, and I knew by half time I'd be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now, I'm watching them, and I'm getting excited. Like, I mean, I'm not too excited before the game starts, but once the game has actually started, I do enjoy the game and how we're playing and the type of football we're playing, the style that we're playing. I think we finally caught up with the top nations in Europe, like Spain and Germany, France. We're now playing probably even better football than most of the top sides in Europe as well. I just think we've just got to be a bit more ruthless in front of goal and a bit more ruthless at the back. But the foundations is looking good.
I mean, I think he certainly found his style of play that he wants to go with, which I think is great. I think the introductions of the likes of Sancho is exciting for any England fan. The thing that stood out for me with Southgate is he's not scared to give youth a chance. I mean, you've only got to look at how Loftus-Cheek's done in an England shirt compared to the amount of limited time he's given at Chelsea. And, when you guys done your little Spurs podcast in the week and you were talking about players that they could possibly be, potential signings for Spurs, I think Loftus-Cheek may be a good option for you guys to look at because he is going to become frustrated with lack of playing time at Chelsea. But that's another topic in itself. I think if there's one thing that I could fault with England is, are we too reliant on Harry Kane to put it in the net for us? Do we because the verdict with Rashford is still very much out for me in terms of him being a top player. I mean, he burst onto the scene and stuff like that with United, and I don't know if he has got it in him what it takes to be a starting England striker. I think Lingard's a good option. Sterling still for me, he's got everything but the final product, but. Yeah, that'll be a question that I still have over this England team is, do we have another striker capable of either challenging Harry Kane for the number 9 position or being able to play alongside him? Because, like I said, are we too reliant on him? But I suppose when you've got a striker as good as Harry Kane is, you'd be a fool not to build the team around him and stuff like that. So,
well, Harry Kane's backup should be Wayne Rooney, really, shouldn't it, G?
You're funny, mate. You're funny.
Do you know what? I've got a little stat quickly on Harry Kane, right?
Yeah.
Caps needed to score 20 international goals, right? Harry Kane's done it in 35. The next nearest person to him is Villa. Remember Villa from Spain?
David Villa, yeah.
David Villa done it in 38.
Yeah.
Close in 44. Henry on 49. Zlatan in 52. Van Persie in 53. So, he's Harry Kane's something special, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's something very special. I mean, you obviously I'm a Spurs fan, and I don't agree, obviously, but you might get the odd Spurs fan that turn around and say he should have had 2. Do you know what I mean? Because Lingard nicked it off him, but at the same time, mate, I don't care who puts that ball in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? And Lingard made sure that went into the back of the net.
Listen, man, that was Lingard's goal, man. Big up Lingard.
100%. Don't care.
Kane. Listen,
that ball was going in. It was trickling in, and Lingard made sure that went in. And that's Lingard's goal, mate.
I think this is Kane's first good game in the last flipping 8, isn't it?
Mate, well, and how many goals he scored in the last 8?
Probably what, 2 now?
3? I think we all get confused. Harry Kane's a striker. His job's to score goals.
Well,
you know what I mean?
To be honest, to Harry Kane, he didn't have that great of a game. I
don't think you did, to be fair.
You got man of the match, and I was like, really and truly, the only reason why you got man of the match is because you had 2 good moments in the game where you set up Lingard and you scored a goal.
But the point of it is, he scores the goal. That's what his job is. Exactly. Golden boot, man. Golden boot.
Give it a rest. Golden boot. Come on, man. You know that. All right, listen. Big up for him for getting that golden boot. But we all know that golden boot was farcical, bro.
Why is it farcical, Roy?
Let's try and stick to the topic, guys.
Yeah. Let's try and stick to the topic.
We're talking about England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start throwing it off to Harry Kane because it's the only decent thing you Spurs people got.
Why is it farcical, though? Why is it farcical?
Because
Tell me why it's farcical.
All right, I will. Because half of the how many games how many goals out in open play did he score? in the world.
Oh,
in
so
the-
this is
No,
what
I'm just
I love.
asking,
This
bro.
is no. This is what I love
You
about
asked me a
English.
question.
This is what I love about
Whoa.
English fans, right?
You asked me a
English
question.
fans. Oh no, and this is what I love about English fans. English fans
You
are so
asked-
quick
Can you answer my
to.
question?
I'm asking you a question. English fans are so quick to
That
be
doesn't like an answer.
negative, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's a question.
Yeah, and that's
I'll
why I'm
answer
asking the question. He scored 3 goals from Morton playing, 3 goals from penalties. But you got the penalties, you still got to put the ball away.
Did I say he didn't?
Can I
You asked the question, I
answer your
answered it.
question?
Yeah, go on, mate.
I'll answer your question. You said how many of those were from open play?
3.
Right. Now, who's the all-time Premier League
There was
goal
3.
scorer?
The what?
The all-time Premier League goal scorer.
Shearer, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
no,
many of them were from a spot kick?
probably about 150.
Well, exactly, mate. He's still a world-class striker.
No, he's not.
His
But
team is still a world-class
for me,
striker.
Alan Shearer's not a
Exactly.
world-class striker, bro. That's just
Well,
my personal opinion, though. You know what I'm saying?
You're telling me you ain't got to put him in the top 5 in the Premier
No, I'm not saying that, bro. Listen, I'm not saying that, yeah? He's good at kicking the ball in the back of a net. That's what he's paid to do. That's his job. When you practice something every day, and your job, mate, if you wasn't good at your job, you get the sack, innit? So obviously, he's got to be good at putting the ball in the back of the net. For me, it doesn't make him a world-class striker.
And that's what
Because
separates
he kicked the ball from 12 yards.
from a world-class striker when you're able to do that.
Do you know what?
For me, that's his standard, bro.
Do you know the hilarious thing about what you're saying right now, Glenn, is I'm scrolling through Twitter as I'm talking, right? It's got BBC 5 Live Sport, right?
Yeah.
And this guy goes, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's a long way from being world class.
Oh, have you watched that clip?
Oh my God! Is it Glenroy?
Who's he talking about?
Is it Glenroy? Seriously, is it Glenroy that called in?
Who's he talking about?
I mean, what
Harry
more has
Kane.
Harry Kane got to do?
Did I say Harry Kane was world class? Did I say Harry Kane was?
You just said he weren't that good.
No, I said Shearer wasn't world class. Oh, come on, listen. That's what I'm saying. You Tottenham fans, yeah, you get all emotional. You get all emotional. You all sensitive and that. You like some little powder puff girls and that, man.
No, but all jokes aside, you can't say Shearer's not world class. How can you say Shearer's not world class? Highest ever goal scoring Premier goal scorer, mate.
That's just my opinion, bro. I think there's other strikers that done a lot more than Shearer. I was a lot better player than Shearer, bro. In his time, bro. That's what I'm saying.
And now you're getting carried away with this, right? Because no one's saying that other players weren't world class. Shearer was a world class striker. He knew how to put that ball in the back of the net.
All right. So would you say, yeah? Okay. So let's just say we've got in our day today we have. I know we're going way off topic now. We're meant to be talking about England, but as you've lot have brought this up, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo and we've got Messi. We all agree that them two are the 2 top players above everybody else. Yeah?
They're elite.
Right, they're elite. Then you have world class underneath that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you give me 3 players that you class as world class? 3 players. That's all.
3 players that are classed as world class.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, Neymar, Suarez, Gareth Bale.
Okay. All right. Now, with them players there, if they were playing in Alan Shearer's era, would you say like Suarez? Would you say Alan Shearer is as good as Suarez in his day?
What I will say is Alan Shearer was world class on his day, in his day.
What?
Alan Shearer was world class in his day.
No, it's a simple question, bro. I don't know where you're going.
It's a hypothetical question you're asking.
It's got to be a hypothetical question,
no,
bro.
It's not, because back in then,
in that day... You know what? You know what?
This guy sitting there saying, put Pele in today's game. Would he be the best player ever to have played the game?
Okay. Let's name 5 strikers in Shearer's day. Yeah, in Shearer's day. All right. Ian,
English or
Ferdinand?
Oh no, world.
Okay.
This is world class. We're talking.
Yeah.
This is world class. So
Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo.
Romario.
Yeah.
Van Basten had retired by then.
We're thinking like 2000s. He was in the 2000s. Batistuta, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Teddy Sheringham.
Shearer struggled to get into the English team. Don't get me wrong, but you can't knock to say what he'd done wasn't world class.
No. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that what he achieved and what he done wasn't world class. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is him as a footballer. I don't think Shearer was a world class footballer. What I'm saying is, in and around the 18-yard box, he was devastating. But out of that, I think he was shit, and that's all I'm saying, bro. So for me, he wasn't a world-class footballer. For me, you know what I'm saying?
On that sense, I totally agree with you. Outside the box, the geezer was painful to watch.
He did score a couple of bangers, though.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
as you expect for someone who had a 20-odd year. But inside the box, that's where he was world class. And as a striker, especially back in them days when you used to play two up front, you used to be able to afford.
Okay, but
He just used to score goals, and he was world class at that.
Yeah, but
There was
but as well,
no
I
one in
think
the world better.
I don't know about that.
As a fox in the box, not an all-round striker, as a fox in the box.
I don't know. England has some pretty good foot because even when Shearer wasn't like popping the goals, like even when he was off form and that and was playing crap in that role, and there was other players in the England team that were banging in goals and that. I remember times when he wasn't even at the top of the scorers charts, and there was other players around that wasn't getting looking just because it was Shearer. You know what I'm saying? Like England seem to have this.
Before Euro '96, Venables said, "You're my man. Like you haven't scored in 9 games for England." And,
you know what I mean?
Venables said to him, "It doesn't matter.
No, I'm not.
Get your mind right. You're starting when it comes to the tournament."
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, now, before you Tottenham fans start going on a hissy fit, I'm not saying, like, this has got anything like him. I'm not comparing him and Kane. But what I'm saying is the last couple of games, when, for me, Kane hasn't performed for England, but I think he's played too much football, personally. I do. I agree with that. I think we burnt him out in the Euros. And obviously, for Tottenham, he's come back and obviously he's going to be starting. That's your first name on your team sheet, would be, you know what I mean, for any team. Yeah, so I just personally think he's played too many games. And I think that really, for the whole squad to benefit, he should just have a little rest. Even if he comes on at half time or, you know what I mean?
He didn't play the other day, did he?
No. But I mean, that was, I mean, let's not even go there.
The thing about it is obviously, like, the thing about it is, listen, mate, there's nothing to question about Harry Kane. For me, anyone who wants to question Harry Kane, mate, I just think you don't know nothing about football. Because I don't see what more that guy's got to do to prove that he's a world class striker.
No, for me, he is a world class striker. Kane is a world class striker for me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But going back to the topic, Gareth Southgate. When Gareth Southgate took in charge, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, Gareth, do you know what I mean? What the fuck are we doing as a yes man? Do you know what I mean? To the FA, this, that, the other." But hats off, I was one of them. But hats off to him. I do feel that he has got a young, good, exciting team. I thought we'd done all right in the I thought we'd done all right in the Euros.
World Cup, you mean?
World Cup, sorry, yeah. We've got a lot to do still. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But we're going in the right direction. I like it. I like the way, I like the team, mate. Do you know what I mean? Delph. I thought Delph was decent tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Barkley's coming to light.
Can I start something? Yeah. After tonight's game, do you think we should have done a bit better in the Euros?
No. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because I think in the Euros,
World Cup.
It was a World Cup.
World Cup,
World Cup, yeah. I think in the World Cup, we was, first time really under Gareth at the time. He was trying to implement his stuff. I thought we was a bit lucky in the World Cup at certain times, if you want me to be honest with you. But at the same time, we was a little bit unlucky, I think we've done all right. It was a good learning curve. We've got a board now to work off. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's where we'll see where we go from there. I don't get all this. What is it? International? What is it called? International Cup, whatever it's called.
The Nations League.
I don't get it at all, man. Do you know what I mean?
No one gets it. I don't even think they get it.
Yeah, well,
yeah. But if we win it, it's a good little board to work off. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's supposed to be equivalent to the Charity Shield or something.
Well, my opinion to it all is like tonight's game. England got the win done, carried on fighting towards the end. And if England was a Premier League team and there was Arsenal or Tottenham, they performed like that and grounded out the result, you'd have been a happy lad. Yeah, but we fought to the end and we got the result in the end. So you got to give them that on their dues. All in all, I thought they didn't play too bad in the first half. Should have scored a few opportunities, and we dug deep. But
Switzerland just pulled one back.
Just conversation about the nations thing. I cannot see how that is any negative towards England as a team. That is no negative group stage. With the likes of Croatia and Spain in it. I believe we've topped the group.
Yeah, we have now.
We beat Spain away.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose to them at home?
Yeah.
Or did we draw? I can't remember. But anyway, besides the point, we've had some good results. Croatia at home, obviously now 2-1, and Croatia got to the World Cup final. They're no small team, and all this does is just gives us experience of winning against bigger teams, meaningful games in international, instead of playing people like fucking the Faroe Islands and
San Marino and people like that. Where
exactly. And we go on to win this because now we're in the semi-finals. We're going to play this little tournament away. It gives us tournament experience, and it gives England a better chance and a better experience of how to win something.
Yeah.
Oh, chaps, I don't know whose mic it is, but someone's mic or something just rattling up the place.
It's Ellis's. I think he's unwrapping some fruit pastels or something.
No. The host is good.
Or maybe it's on your zip.
I ain't got a zip on.
Because I can hear your volume on your thing. Maybe
I can hear it.
Do you know what it is? I think it's your breathing, man.
Who's?
Yours, Ellis.
Let's hope I don't stop breathing, whilst we're on air.
I think all in all, the competition's a good thing for England, and well done. I gave my view about last week, and yeah,
good, man. I think it's competitive, and I think that's what we need is more competitive games for England. And like you said, I can just reiterating, no point playing San Marino and teams like that. They're not going to do nothing to us, So being competitive, playing competitive games makes it more competitive as a nation, makes the games more meaningful. Sorry, that's the word I'm trying to use.
And also, it gave who is it that got is it Gibraltar got their first 2 wins or someone like that? Like their first 2 wins ever in football because of this Nations League. They beat
did they?
some other, I think it's Gibraltar, yeah.
Good on Gibraltar.
You know what I mean? Gibraltar.
Common and host for the most.
Cool, then moving on. So we're going to go to the sports and banter mastermind. I've got a list of 15 questions here, guys. I'm going to read the question. You'll get 10 seconds to answer the question. And the person that scores the most points after the 15 questions will be the inaugural winner of the Sports and Banter Mastermind. So,
wait, do we get a prize?
You get to be on next week. How about that?
Oh, that's sick.
So what will happen is I'll read the question, I will say, and then you'll have 10 seconds to answer it back. After the 10 seconds, I'll ask all 3 of you for your answers, okay? But can I trust you guys not to change your answers if one person says something? Because I know how I feel sorry for you, G, because I know these Osman brothers probably in cahoots with each other, giving each other tips on WhatsApp whilst we're on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, boy.
You know these Spurs boys stick together.
That little Tottenham flipping WhatsApp group page and that.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're on about, mate.
Yeah. So, could be the first thing they've won in 10 years if they win this anyway. So, anyways, first question. I'll read it to you. I have played for a team that has won the Premier League. I've scored in a North London derby. I've played in an East Anglian derby and also had a brief spell at Millwall. Who am I? You've got 10 seconds to think of your answer.
Can you repeat the question again, sorry?
Yep. I have played for a team that has won the Premier League.
Yeah.
I've scored in a North London derby.
Yeah.
I've played in the East Anglian derby and had a brief spell at Millwall. Who am I?
Yeah.
All right, have a think for 10 seconds and I'll ask you.
Oh, actually, that could be 2. Oh, damn. I've got it down to 2. Oh, did he play for Millwall?
Oh, no, it is. Do
you know who it is,
boys?
Hakan, I'll take your answer first.
It's not old matey Perry, is it? What's his name, Perry?
Not Chris Perry.
No. You got to get full name, bro. Come on.
He used to play for Arsenal.
There's a lot of Perry that used to play for Arsenal.
Is that your answer?
Oh, yeah, that's my answer, mate.
It's not Perry Groves. Glenroy?
Paul Merson?
No. Hassan?
Harry Kane.
Yes, it is Harry Kane.
Oh, you're so gay, man.
He's previously played for Leicester, scored in the North London derby, been on loan at Norwich, and had a brief spell on loan at Millwall.
And where did he start off his football career?
Spurs.
Did he start off for Spurs? Did he?
What, 8 years old? What, his football career started for 8?
I'm asking a question, mate.
He started off at Spurs, mate.
Glenroy, you know you can't talk about their golden boy.
Oh, no, I mean, he's hugging on to. He's one
of our own.
Like it's calendar.
Right, okay. Question 2. I have won the Champions League 4 times.
No Spurs player then.
With Madrid, Ajax, and AC Milan. Who am I? I have won the Champions League 4 times with Madrid, Ajax, and AC Milan.
Ooh. Oh.
I reckon it's one of 2.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hakan? Correct.
Bang.
Oh, you did. I'll be honest with you, I thought it was either Seedorf or Davids.
Right,
yeah, you went for Davids.
I didn't get it, bro.
So you shouldn't have said correct there, mate. You should have waited for us all to
answer. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but we're still bro, it's only 3 of us, mate, and I'm pretty sure we can all be grown up enough to,
Yeah.
So you went with Davids, didn't you, Hass?
Yeah, I knew it was either Davids or thing. I would have said Davids, to be fair.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, next one. Name the 4 ex-Spurs players to have won the Champions League. The 4 ex-Spurs players to have won the Champions League.
Oh.
Right, Gareth Bale.
Whoa. Pipe down. You get 10 seconds first.
Is this Spurs' recent team now or of all time?
No, there's only 4 ex-Spurs players to have won the Champions League.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'll go first.
Hassan, go on then.
Right. Davids.
Yeah.
Van der Vaart. Bale. And Modric.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
I'm not too sure about Van der Vaart, though.
No, you've said it.
That's my first answer, yeah.
So you said Davids, Van der Vaart, Modric, and...
Bale.
Okay. Glenroy?
I'll put Van der Vaart, Bale, and Davids. How did I not get Modric? Shame.
So you went the same 4.
I forgot. I forgot Modric.
Okay.
So who did you put in your 4?
In my 3.
I'm the question master here.
Right, you're mine.
So you've given me Glenroy. So you've given me Van der Vaart.
Yeah. Gareth Bale. And David and Edgar Davids. I didn't get a 4th one.
Okay. So no 4th one.
Go
on, Hakan.
Right, you got Gareth Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Modric.
Yeah.
Davids.
Yeah.
And one everyone missed. And you can't miss it. It was one of the most golden times in Champions League final history, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Sheringham.
Correct.
Oh.
So, Van der Vaart never won the Champions League.
No,
so Bale, Modric, Davids, and Bale, Modric, Davids, and Teddy Sheringham. So,
just run through the scores for me, mate.
Yeah.
There's only 3
So we got Hassan on 1 point, Hassan on 2 points, and Glenroy on 0.
Oh, typical gooner.
Nada.
Bro,
right.
You lot got to win something in your life, you know what I mean?
So, question 4. I played in a London derby, a Manchester derby, a Milan derby, a Merseyside derby.
Oh, my days.
A Midlands derby, and a North East derby. So I've read that question, and if you try and follow his... Think about...
You've done it in chronological order.
Yeah. A London derby to a Manchester derby to a Milan derby to a Merseyside derby to a Midlands derby and to a North East derby.
Oh, I think I might have it, you know.
Give you 10 seconds.
Ooh.
I think I got it.
I think I might have it.
I've got it.
No, I might not, though.
Oh, I've got it.
Well, you're quick on that Google, didn't you, Rakan?
I'm telling you, bro.
I've
It's
got
like,
it. I'm thinking about it. That's why I count.
he's on that touch type. Like,
yeah,
per second.
And he missed one more derby out, I think.
Nah,
Are you sure he hasn't been in one more derby?
no, I'm quite sure.
Oh, I don't think he played that game then.
Did you set the questions, Bob?
No, but I know my shit, innit?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hakan, who do you think it is?
I'll say I know my shit. I'm going to get it wrong now, but Adebayor.
No way. I didn't say that one.
Who did he play for? Everton or Liverpool?
Oh, no,
Hakan?
Everton did it. He played Midlands because he played for West Brom, didn't he?
Shush.
Man
Go on.
City.
Glenroy?
I put Ray Wilkins.
Not a bad shout.
Not a bad shot.
But
Right.
And Hassan?
Paul Ince.
Correct.
Oh,
Play for West Ham.
but do you know what it is? Oh no, do you know what? I know what's happened here. You know, he's went and seen the paper from the other night, isn't he?
No, what are you talking about, man?
Yes, because I remember. You remember when you leant over the table?
Think about it.
I'm
Mate,
thinking
the
about it.
questions were on
I
one
see that,
side.
G,
The
I
answers
see
were
that.
there.
Roll that
Yeah.
point
Do you
out.
remember?
Roll that point out, Ellis.
There's no way Hassan would have got that.
That is Paul Ince. Think about it, mate. Man
I thought
United,
about it.
Liverpool, Charlton.
Yeah, I can't
Do you
remember.
know what I mean?
No, West Ham, Man United,
That's
West
what I'm
Ham,
saying.
yeah, sorry, they played Charlton.
No, but bro,
Liverpool,
because you have to remember.
Wolves,
That's what I'm saying,
and
Hassan.
Middlesbrough.
Because this is what it is, yeah.
Mate.
He
It's
said it
about
in
football knowledge, Glenn Roy. It's about football knowledge.
That's why. That's why I don't believe you got
I'm
it right.
I'm expanded out. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just solely suck into Arsenal or
Ellis,
Spurs. Do you know what I mean?
Ellis, just correct me if I'm right. Did you say North London derby?
No, a London
No.
derby.
A London derby.
Oh, mate, to be honest, I've got to listen to these questions a bit closer. That's the second question which caught me out.
Right, okay.
Hey, Ellis, what's the scores?
You've got
It's
one.
all right.
Let's
It's
just
all right. I
go.
know what it is. I know what it is.
Right. Next question. Name 2 current Premier League managers to have played for Barcelona. 2 current Premier League managers to have played for Barcelona.
Easy.
Current. Oh gosh. I can't even think. My mind's gone blank.
Three, two,
It's easy, man.
1. Hakan, I'll press you for an answer first, please.
In Barcelona,
Name 2
played for
current Premier League
Barcelona.
managers to have played for FC Barcelona.
I'm just going to have to go. Obviously, the first one's Pep.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not too bright with the second one, but I'm going to go the Everton manager, Marco Silva.
No, it's not that.
Close,
No.
but not close enough.
Oh, God.
Switzerland beating Belgium 3-2, mate.
No way.
Yeah.
It's that Xhaka. Hey, Xhaka.
It's Colin Glenn. What's your answer?
Bro, I just got Pep, man. I forgot. Do you know what? The worst thing is the other week, yeah, there was a football match, and they said on either Sky Sports or something about they used to play together, and I can't remember who the flipping man was now.
You see, that's what I was reading. It was on Talk Sport.
Was it on TalkSport?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hass, you confident you've got the second one?
I think I have. Yeah, obviously it's Pep, and I'm thinking is it that Flores from Watford?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's
Both incorrect.
No.
The answer
No.
was
Both. Oh, I thought you meant that.
Mark Hughes.
What?
Oh,
Mark
Oh,
Hughes.
yes. Oh my
Played for
God.
Barcelona and Bayern Munich.
Now, do you know what it was? I forgot Mark Hughes still had a job.
Mm-hmm.
Sparky, yeah, can you believe it?
Okay, next question. Which former Liverpool player scored in the Champions League final in the year 2000 against Bayern Leverkusen? Which former Liverpool player scored in the Champions League final in the year 2000 against Bayern Leverkusen?
Oh, I think I might have this, you know.
A lot of people seem to forget about this goal because of the goal that actually won it, I think.
Oh. Is it him actually? Oh, yeah, I can hear some. Oh, yeah, I can hear some typing going on.
Yeah,
You know?
I can hear some
I
typing.
can hear typing.
Hassan,
You
Hassan, you're a
freaking
cheat.
Tottenham scumbags, man.
What do you mean, man?
Bro,
Yeah, you are. You're
Tottenham
cheating.
scumbags, you know what I'm saying?
I
You
can say
lot
one thing.
cheating.
That's not me, guys, because I was on silent.
You were on mute. It was Hassan. I can see.
What are you
his
not going on
body.
about?
Bro, I can hear your
So,
Yeah,
freaking.
2000
okay,
Champions League final.
okay, it was me. I've just put it
No,
down.
you're
I've just
bad,
put it
bro.
down.
You should be bad for that, man. Or at least have some
A
deduction.
penalty.
Come
I
on.
reckon it's a
That's
penalty.
a deduction. He can't win the next 3 questions.
Shut up, man. What's up, y'all?
Bro, you're dad. That's
Right.
cheating.
Glenroy, I'm going to take
I
your
can't
answer
answer this
first.
question then.
Okay.
And the
I
next
ain't got a
one.
clue what the answer is.
And the next one as well. Come
Fucking
on.
hell, Glenroy. That's not free. It's not straight red 3-match ban, mate.
Yeah, that's bro. That's like match fixing.
Oh man, just
Yeah.
so far behind you and got one right yet.
Well, I ain't been using Google, have I?
Yes, mate.
2000.
I'll put Vladimir Schmitzer.
I'm going to go. What was the question? Just rephrase the question again.
Which
sorry,
former
mate.
Liverpool player scored in the Champions League final in the year 2000 against Bayern Leverkusen?
You went Schmitzer, did you, G? Yeah.
Yeah, I went Schmitzer.
Fucking hell.
To be honest, I wouldn't have got that, and I'm going to have to go for a wild guess. And it's either out of two. Because I can only think about 2 players playing back a little while ago, but I don't think it was Michael Owen. So I think he was a bit younger then. The only other person I could think it would be is Steve McManaman.
Yeah, it was Hakan on the fucking. It was Hakan on the thingy, man. What's up
No
with
way.
Oh, it was on
Yes,
How did you get
correct.
that right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think is going to be Steve McManaman because Michael Owen would have been too young.
Yeah, correct. So, Hassan, this is the second part of your suspension, so I'll only be taking answers from Glenroy and Hakan.
Hold on a minute.
No, the final decision is final. All
It
right?
makes me laugh. Hakan's the one that got done it, right?
Yeah, no, because you admitted to it though, bro.
Yeah.
You said
You
all
were
right. It was
caught.
me.
Your fingerprints are all over it. So,
Well,
anyways, next question.
and then he's trying to G up his brother.
I joined Arsenal from Barrenveen and went on to play for Manchester City, Liverpool and Celtic. Who am I? I joined Arsenal from Barrenveen and I went on to play for Manchester City, Liverpool and Celtic.
Yeah, you lot can have this. I don't know the answer.
Berreby, is that like some foreign club?
Nah, it's English, mate. League 2.
What, Berry?
Barrenveen.
Straight down the M6.
It's our little feeder club in Belgium.
Oh, why'd you tell him that, mate?
I'll give him a little clue every now and then.
To be honest, I ain't got a clue.
Or do you want me to go first?
It's going to be some old school player, man.
Hakan?
I'm going to go... He went in the Arsenal. He played for Arsenal. He played for... Sorry, say the question again.
I joined Arsenal from Barrenveen.
Yeah.
And then I went on to play for Manchester City,
Yeah.
Liverpool and Celtic.
Anelka.
Nope.
He played for all 3 clubs.
He played for Real Madrid, bro.
He didn't play for Anelka. Didn't play for Celtic.
What?
He left us. He left us and went to Real Madrid, then went to Liverpool.
And he also signed for us from PSG and not Barrenveen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying he did play for them clubs.
Yeah. So, Glenroy?
Bro, I ain't got a clue. I'll say someone like flipping John Jensen.
Close, but not close enough. The answer is
Hang on,
Kolo Toure.
Oh, Colo.
Hassan, you're suspended. You don't get a choice.
Yeah.
So,
no point.
Next question.
Oh, yeah, of course he did.
John
Barnesy
played for 4 English clubs. Name all 4 of them. Hassan, you can play this
Say that
one
again.
now. Hassan, can you turn your mic on, please, so we can hear you typing into John Barnes' Wikipedia?
Andrew, I can, because I don't trust you either.
Well, I'm alive. I know 2.
Yeah, so I'll give
Say that
you...
again. Just say English club or British clubs?
John Barnes played for 4 English clubs. Name all 4 of them. And I'll go to you first, Glenroy, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God. Damn, man, you lot are killing me out here, bro. I don't like being under the pressure, you know, man.
Mate, your knowledge of football shit, then, Roy.
I'll tell you what. No.
Do you know what it is, bro? It's just you know when you just get put on the spot. That I just and then because you're scrambling to find results and that. I've got Liverpool. I've got Liverpool and Watford. That's the only two I can think of.
Yeah, I've got one more. Yeah, I've got one more. Oh, actually, I might have two, actually.
No, you can't do that now, bro.
Time's up.
What the fuck?
Right, Ellis, mine is, and I'm just saying this, Liverpool, Watford, and Aston Villa. I don't know the other one.
Okay. Nope.
Oh, and
well, you just said you don't know the other one. Are you going to tell us another one now, man?
That's a guess. That's a random guess.
Okay, no, right, it wasn't Villa. Hassan.
I'm going to go with Watford, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
This is the hardest one. Charlton.
I was thinking Charlton. I was thinking that.
Glenn Roy, do you want to give me your answers?
I said, bro, Liverpool, Watford.
Okay, John Barnes played for Watford, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Charlton.
I'm not playing with us.
I know it.
I know for a fact he did not know that. I'm his brother. I know him well enough than anyone.
I swear Hassan only started liking football 10 years ago.
I'm making a cup. I'm
in
making
2008 when Spurs won something.
I know this guy, mate. He's a phony, mate.
Right.
I'm actually making a cup of tea, eating an orange.
Yeah, right. How many? Right, next question.
I think we've got to show faces, guys.
Oh, yeah. Go on, then.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Look, making myself a tea, rude boy.
Yeah, where's the iPad?
Yeah, I've got the laptop out.
No,
okay. Next question. How many years is it since Spurs last won the league?
You told us 3 times today, mate.
Is it one?
Don't put that as a question, mate. You're just taking the piss, mate.
I'm not. This is a question.
That's what I think.
This is a question,
man. Listen. Support your team, bro.
Right.
Support your team. Back your team.
This should be 2 easy points on offer.
Typical Gooner quiz.
2 easy points on offer.
Yeah.
Back your team.
What do you mean? How is it 2 easy points? You only get 1 point for the answer, mate.
Yeah, but you're a Spurs fan, and how can the Spurs fans 2 easy points on offer?
Well, if Glenroy don't get this right, he's an Arsenal fan. That's all he spends his time studying the Spurs. So,
well, listen,
I ain't got time
just
to
because
study.
you've been caught out cheating.
Exactly.
How many years is it since Spurs last won the league?
One,
53 years.
Oh,
2, 84 years.
Oh, my
Or
days.
3, 57 years.
Man started off with 50. I thought he was going to say 20 something. Oh, no, I think 20 something.
Well, I know that we won it in 61, so do the maths. I'd say 57.
Glenroy?
Yeah, what he said.
See, that's what I'm saying. Glenroy's cheating, mate.
I'm not cheating, bro. You was just listen,
61, so it's 57 years, mate.
Okay, 1 point to everybody. Well done. Spurs last
I mean, Glenroy didn't get nothing right. Glenroy copied us.
57 years ago in 1961.
Yeah. Funny.
Right, I've got another Who Am I question for you here.
Oh, I don't like these, bro.
I've got an answer.
I'm flipping. This ain't Doctor Who, you know.
I have won the league in Holland 2 times, in Italy 4 times with both Milan clubs. I've won La Liga once and Ligue 1 4 times, but have never won the Champions League.
Yeah,
Who am
I know it is.
Can you say it again, please? I can't hear with all this tea making going on in the background, bro.
Man.
It's that one in the middle.
Bro. Come on, man. Gonna say that again, brother. Say it again.
I've won the league in Holland 2 times.
Yeah.
The league in Italy 4 times with both Milan clubs. I've won La Liga once.
Hakan, where's your screen, bro?
4 times.
Yo, blood.
Never the Champions League.
He's looking at the iPad.
Listen there, I don't like what's going on.
Where's your screen, rude boy?
Oh, my screen's here, bro. You can see me
Can't
right
see,
away.
all I can see is an S.
Minimise us on your laptop.
Can't see nada.
Go on, Hass or G, go first.
I'll go first.
To be fair, I couldn't even finish. I didn't even remember the question, but I'll just say 2 clubs with Holland. 3...
Right, he's won the league twice in Holland, 4 times in Italy with both Milan clubs.
Yeah.
La Liga and the French league 4 times, but never the Champions League.
Right, can I go?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, no, you know what? As soon as you told me,
I went first every time, bro.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you told me it wasn't the Champions League, the answer was pretty relevant. So, like, I know if these motherfuckers get this right, especially Glenroy, it means it's copying my answer.
All right, so why don't you go last? Okay.
The God. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
The God.
I didn't get that, to be honest. I was going to say one of the De Boer brothers or something.
The God.
Hakan?
The God.
Who's the God?
Zlatan, isn't it?
Yeah,
Zlatan.
Correct.
I am Zlatan.
It is Zlatan. He's never won the Premier
scores
League.
at the moment?
Never won the Champions League.
Oh, this is long, you know. We've been on this for about fucking.
Glenroy, as long as you ain't getting nothing right, man. It's good banter.
Okay.
This is great banter.
I'm going to make you like a cup just for you boys.
In 2010, Robert Lewandowski's move to an English club fell through due to the Icelandic volcano ash cloud, and that prevented him from flying out and signing. Can you tell me who this club is? And I'll give you a clue.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to give out a clue.
It's too hard if I don't tell you.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
Just because he knows. Just because he knows. You know what I mean? He's trying to get that upper hand. Give the clue, Bob. It's your competition.
They are not in the Premier League.
Oh, shame. That's just curveball. Do you know who it is, Hakan?
Yeah.
They're
this
not
was
in the
on
Premier
Talk Sport just the other day.
You know what? I think I heard this, you know.
Well, I heard this as well. I can't think.
Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hakan, you go last because you seem to know the answer. Yeah. Hassan?
Middlesbrough?
Ooh, not bad sniff. Nah, sorry, mate.
Glenroy?
What was the player's name?
Lewandowski, mate.
Oh, Lewandowski. Fuck, no, it's Villa.
No, mate. Sorry, guys. It was Blackburn.
Correct.
How do you know that?
I've heard a story ages ago. They also tried, I think it was Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
They nearly got Zidane as well.
Is Zidane, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Decided against it.
What's the scores at the moment, mate?
What question are we on, bro?
We're on question. We've got 4 questions left.
And what's the scores?
Don't you worry about the scores. I don't want you to feel under pressure. Do a Spursy and fall at the last hurdle. So, anyways, name 2 current Premier League managers to have won the European Cup or a Champions League as a player.
Say that again. 2 managers that have won.
Name the 2 current Premier League managers
that
have won the European Cup or the Champions League as a player.
All right, I think I know. Not 100% sure, but got a good guess.
3, 2, 1. Hack, do you want to go first?
He's researching at the moment.
Pep.
And I don't know why. I'm just going to go with that. What the answer was earlier on from Mark Hughes.
That's exactly what I've done, bro.
That's exactly what I was going to do as well.
Yeah. So
man.
you're all saying Pep.
Although I know it's not Mark Hughes though, bro. I know it's not Mark Hughes. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, but that's what you put down. So
yeah. That's what I put down.
Yeah. So Pep won it with Barcelona, and Wolves manager Nuno Espirito Santo.
Porto
with Porto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Moving on. Who is the only player to have scored in a Champions League final,
Someone's brocking up.
FA Cup final, UEFA Cup final, and a League Cup final?
Say that again. The score.
Who is the only player to have scored in a Champions League final, an FA Cup final, a UEFA Cup final, and a League Cup final?
Yeah, I got that. Hakan's muted it so he can go and type on his arm.
I know, man. I'm not really.
I'm not, mate. I'm just making sure my Hoover ain't broke, mate. That's what I just dropped on the floor.
Oh, right.
What did you drop?
My Hoover, my cordless Hoover.
Oh, shit. Dyson?
What manager has won the League Cup?
No, which player scored in the Champions League final, FA Cup final, UEFA Cup final, and the League Cup final? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go on, Hass. Who do you think?
Gerrard. Gerrard.
Glenroy?
Oh, see, I was going to put either. I'll go. My first answer was Ronaldo, and then I thought Bale, but nah, yeah, go on Ronaldo. Ronaldo, obviously, that's my first answer.
Cool, actually.
Hakan?
I'm going to go with Frank.
The answer is Stevie Gerrard.
Come on, Glenroy. What's the scores at the moment? What's the scores at the moment, Glenroy?
Right, next question. Question.
You're winning on a game that means nothing. Well done.
Name the 2 current managers in London to have won the Premier League.
Poch.
Sorry, I could cut there.
I think Glenroy just said Poch had won something, but no, it's not right.
No, yeah.
Name the 2 current managers in London that have won the Premier League.
Yep, I got it.
Who's the thingy manager?
I want Glenroy to go first as well because he's thick.
All right, mate. Don't hold back.
Well, this is the only. You know what it is, yeah? Just because this is the only time he'll beat me at football in any kind of fashion. You know what I mean?
It's all about knowledge, Glenroy.
I'll give it to him.
Right, come on then. Is this 10 seconds up?
Come on, mate.
Yeah, go on then. Hakan, you can go first.
Well, no, I was thinking Glenn was going first.
What?
Glenroy's
Going first, bro. Not
yeah,
bro. We're meant to take it in turns of going first. I've gone first.
Glenroy, on a level, man. We can't even see your picture, mate.
What do you mean you can't see my picture? I can see my
Can anyone
picture.
see Glenroy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you with your
Anyway,
dry phone,
I'll
bro.
come to my answer, Ellis. First one is Ranieri,
Yeah.
and the second one will be. To be honest, mate, I'm not too sure. I've got Roy Hodgson in my head, and because I know no one else has, but it's not him.
I'll go now.
I'll go now.
Glenroy,
Yeah, I'll go. So Hassan doesn't accuse me of cheating and that. You know what I mean? I didn't get Ranieri because I forgot about him joining Fulham, but Pellegrino with whatever West Ham.
Oh yeah. Fuck up.
I was going to say the two shittest London clubs at the moment in the Premier League: Pellegrini and Tinkerman.
Yeah, correct. It was Pellegrini and Ranieri. Okay, last question. Mario Balotelli has 1 Premier League assist. What is significant about it?
He didn't mean it.
Why always me? Whatever it was.
Indeed.
Yeah, we all got that one.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is
Go
it?
on, Glenroy.
Oh, I'm not clear, mate.
I'll go. I think it was the assist that set him up for Aguero to score for them to win the league.
Premier League, yeah.
Yep, correct. So, scores on the doors.
What's on the board? Mr. Ellis.
Glenroy, out of 15, you scored a grand total of 2.
Done.
Well, did he really? I didn't think you got that
1,
many.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Count them up, Ellis.
Yeah, I am doing.
Yeah. Don't forget, people,
Right.
while Ellis is doing that, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
So, Hakan, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But this week's winner on 8.
Taking the piss.
Really?
That's
I've counted through, mate, and I've got 9.
No, I got
Mate.
7 here, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to rewind it after the show. But...
All right. But the first
Don't tell me, no, hang on. I think Hakan must have won it, bro. There's no way Hakan won it.
Viewers,
No way.
There's
no
this is
way.
all a farce. Hassan's paid Ellis. Some sort of back burner. This is all
The
a
Google
thing.
Master.
So,
Haters are going to hate.
Right. Hassan doesn't know what his prize is yet.
Mate, I get to go and be on the show next week, don't I?
No, you've got to put together the next quiz. That's your
Oh,
prize. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of extra homework for you.
That's
So,
no problem.
yeah.
Base them all on Arsenal, you might actually. If I base them all on Arsenal, Glenn might get a couple more right.
Indeed.
Probably not.
So, that brings us on to our next topic. The return of the Tinkerman. Claudio Ranieri's return back to the Premier League. Having previously managed with Chelsea and Leicester, Atletico Madrid, Roma, Juve, Inter, Monaco and Napoli. Good appointment. What are we thinking, boys? I will open that out to Glenroy first.
Yeah, the Tinkerman is back. Don't forget the best club he was. Well, the best time he was at was at Greece, wasn't it? You know what I mean? So Ranieri's back. Is it a good appointment? Well, I think it could be for now. I think it'll do a job. Till the end of the season, but going forward, I'm not too sure. I think the Leicester League was just total fluke, and probably won't ever be done again. But I think can somebody just mute their mics because I can hear doors closing and everything. I think. Well, look. First of all, Jokanovic had to go. You know what I mean? I mean, they had awful, woeful form. I think they played 12, they've only won 1, I think, drew 2, lost 9, scored 11, conceded 31, goal difference of -20, and they're on 5 points. So, it's a bit of a joke, really. They're defensively, they were just awful. They're not really scoring too many goals, so that's just defeat in it, really. I think they've conceded 3+ goals 8 times this season. And they've conceded 2 goals or more, or 2 goals 3 times this season. So unless they're really going to score 4 goals a game, just to even get a win or a draw, then they ain't got a chance. They've got 13 new players in the squad this year. So obviously that's just like a whole new starting 11. They've got to integrate all these players. On top of that, what happens with the players that were there from last season that got them up? So the squad harmony, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think they've got a bit excited of getting into the Premier League, and I think what they've done is they've tried so hard to try and stay there that they've actually gone the other way and ended up shooting themselves in the foot. And if you look at Ranieri's points per match ratio, he hasn't really got the greatest record at that. He was only at Nantes before this for 40 matches. And he got 1.3 points per match. Leicester, 81 matches, 1.59 points per match. And obviously Greece, let's not even talk about them. But I think his best spell was at Monaco when he was getting 2 points per match, but that's back in 2012. So I don't know if Ranieri's still got it. I think what he will bring though is squad heart. I think he'll bring the group together. And I think it'll just steady the ship, get him playing a certain way, get him an identity of how to shore up shop at the back and maybe nick 1-0s here and there. But I think it's going to be hard for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, to be fair, he came in his opening press conference. He said the biggest problem with Fulham is that they concede too many goals. He goes, and I'm Italian. So he will reassure that defence up. And I think they went out and spent £100 million in the summer, which they needed to, but I don't think they spent it in defence well enough as they should have, and that's obviously paying off now. But I think the Tinkerman can keep them up. To be honest, I think at least to the end of the season, I think more than likely they'll have a bad start next season, and they'll mostly go. But I think in the January window, you buy 1 or 2 defenders just to reassure that. So they've got a couple of decent players in there. Yeah, and I think they won't be too bad, mate. It's good to see him back. He went pear-shaped at Leicester towards the end for him. But yeah, no, it's good to see him back. I think it's not a bad appointment, to be fair.
Hass, do you want to bring us to a close on this topic?
Yeah, I think with what's on the market at the moment, and for Fulham, I think it's a good little signing for them. I do think he will keep him up. I think he's got a wealth of experience in order to keep him up. If they give him money to spend in January as well, then yeah, I think he'll keep him up. I think he'll steady the ship a bit. My only question mark over Ranieri, in which he's kind of like proven over times and times of managing other clubs, is he does well to start off, and then he fades off after. You know, I think he was a little bit harshly dealt with by Leicester, because I think Leicester punched well above their weight that year. But yeah, I think that he'll keep him up definitely.
Yeah, because I think it's like Hacked touched on earlier. They went a bit wild in the market, spent over in and around 100 million, and I think they raised a few eyebrows when they managed to pull off the signing of Seri, considering the likes of Barcelona, bigger clubs in the Premier League have been linked with him and stuff like that. And for them to pull that signing off certainly was a surprise to me. I don't know what his signing on bonus would have been, and so, but. I think it's quite nice to see one of football's nice guys back in the game as well. I mean, you can't really knock Ranieri. He handles himself with class pretty much all the time. When he was stitched up at Leicester, he generally seems like a nice guy and the sort of the manager the players would definitely want to pay for. So, yeah, I agree.
Sorry to cut you there, but don't you find he's a bit too nice?
Yeah, and I don't.
I mean, look, Fulham's in a place right now where they need to get results. Yeah, they need that. I mean, I know football's a bit different now, where the days of like putting your foot down on players, giving them a kick out the backside, and that. You know what I mean? But I think there's still. I think Fulham need a bit of discipline, man. They've just got. Every time I've watched them this season, they just seem to lack discipline, and there's no leaders there. The structure is just all wrong.
I think he'll address that though. I think he'll address that. When I say I think he's a nice guy, when Eddie says he's a nice guy, I think he's just a general nice guy. Do you know what I mean? But I think when it comes to being ruthless, I think he'll be ruthless, mate. Don't be surprised if people come off that. Yeah. You know.
I mean, do you think he'll keep them up, or do you think they're still doomed to go down?
I think he'll keep them up. I do. I think he'll keep them up. I think he'll sort out the defence that they've got at the moment. In January, he'll strengthen in defence, and he'll keep them up. I really believe he'll keep them up. It'll be one of them saviours. Do you know what I mean? And everyone will be praising Tinkerman again. Do you know what I mean, Claudio? They'll be praising him up again, and then next year they might as well get relegated.
What three teams do you think will are worse than Fulham this year?
Huddersfield,
Cardiff,
and
the other one, I think you're going to get a surprise one. You know what? It's like West Ham. Yeah, don't get me wrong. West Ham, they've got some players there, but they don't seem to be getting the results that they need to be getting. You know, and
West Ham will be safe, man.
I think they'll be safe, but I think it wouldn't surprise me if they get stuck into it. I think Cardiff and Huddersfield are going to go down, and I think it will be maybe your Brighton,
Southampton.
Do you think?
Southampton.
I mean,
Newcastle.
I think it's going to be. I think you're going to have obviously. I think you're going to have your. I think you're right. Huddersfield and Cardiff will definitely be down there. To be honest, I think Fulham. I don't think Fulham will probably go down. But I think it's going to be like. I think there's going to be one of those where there's going to be like 3 points separating about 8 teams. You know what I mean? And it's just going to be whoever wins on the last day in goal differences.
It'll be a robbery. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, but I do think it'll be a robbery if Newcastle don't go down this year. With what they've spent in the summer and what they've spent in the past 2 years, they've literally just robbed the...
Man, they need to go down, man. They need to go down. I'm sorry, Newcastle fans, but
you can't invest that amount of money in the Premier League in the X amount of years they've been back in here and expect to be in the Premier League. You're rolling luck there, mate.
I mean, Mike Ashley's got to be the worst owner ever, isn't he? Well, actually, there's been some bad ones, but he's terrible.
Do you think if he didn't have so much of a rough ride with the Newcastle fans, not that he doesn't deserve it and he hasn't deserved it, because if I was a Newcastle fan, I'll be just the same. But do you think if he had more love from the Newcastle fans, he would have more love for the club and he would input more money?
Nah, I just think he's a tight bastard, mate.
He's all about his balance sheet, I think, and he'll.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's a bloody good businessman. You know what I mean? That's and it's a bit like Levy.
Yeah, 100%. No, but I think Levy's a bit different to Ashley because Levy's invested into the club in certain areas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Levy will buy players as long as he. Levy's motto is he'll buy a player at a decent price as long as he's got a resale value on it.
Yeah.
You know,
a 5-year contract every year.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, Belgium are out, you know.
Are they out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Estonia beat Greece.
Lukaku firing on all cylinders as usual.
Yeah, wacky, cracky. Wait, mate, that Hazard's brother, T Hazard, whatever his name is.
Torgan Hazard.
Yeah, he scored 2.
Jeez.
He scored a brace.
Yeah, anyway.
Where are we at next?
Moving on. Been in reports in the media that the Snake, Samir Nasri, might be on his way back to the Premier League.
Oh, dirty
Obviously, you know, he was a bit of a maverick, to be honest. You know, especially coming from Marseille with his Algerian roots, was, you know, at one point was dubbed as the next Zidane, and has recently had a doping ban put on him for use of the intravenous serum, which hydrates and maximises recovery time, well over the allowed 10 times over the allowed amount, and had spells of Arsenal, City, Sevilla, and in Turkey as well. Talks about him signing a 90 grand a week deal with West Ham. What do you guys think?
There's only one Premier League club who will give him 90 grand a week after having been out of the game for so long. And with his fitness like that, and it's West Ham. I mean, come on.
Do you know what? You're right, I can, because Tottenham can afford it.
Yeah. No, we're not
Tottenham
mugs,
wouldn't have it, mate.
We're not mugs, mate. Mugs.
Yeah, but I think you're right, Akan. It sounds bad, but I think you're right. I think they're the only team that would be prepared to pay that sort of money for someone like him. You know, there's no taking away. Nasri was a decent player, mate.
Yeah, Nasri. That's the thing that upsets me about Nasri. The guy was a baller at one point, and
the season before he left you guys, the geezer was a baller.
Yeah. He's got like them snake legs. He doesn't really go past players, but he just moves his legs, and they seem to get out of the way. When we first signed, I was thinking, what have we got here? Like, complete. Yeah, it was going to be the next big thing coming out of France. And then, you know, left a bad taste in my mouth and a lot of Arsenal fans' mouths how he went about doing his move to City. Kind of made a gentleman's agreement with the club that he'd stay and sign a new contract. And then in the summer, pretty much negotiated his own move to City behind the club's back. And so, you know, from a fan's point of view, I think he's probably the most hated player with a lot of Arsenal fans. You've only got to look at the reception he gets. I mean, I remember when he came back with City. And normally when a next player comes back that they've left on bad terms, the booing kind of wears off after 10, 15 minutes. This guy got booed every touch he had.
And he deserved
throughout the whole game.
What's worse, him or Ashley Cole?
I'd say him.
Yeah.
Ashley Cole went to Chelsea, a London
rival.
But
do you know what though? Yeah, I think with Ashley Cole, though, I think half of it was our own fault, because he would have stayed with us if all we had to do is give him an extra five grand or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Arsenal being Arsenal, as you know what I mean, as we do, being tight asses, we said no. So he said, all right, we'll stuff you. And who can blame him at the end of the day? Because he still wouldn't even been on like a top earner at Arsenal, and he was.
Look all them trophies won by leaving you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Still won a few with us though, mate. You know.
Do you know what the thing about it was? What is it? That's equivalent to. That's not an equivalent, but it's not far off. Sol Campbell to Arsenal.
No, not really. Because Sol Campbell. No, because
of course it's not. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, you're going to say no, it's not. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As you're saying, you're quite happy that he's gone to Arsenal for the sake of $5,000. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea for the sake of $5,000.
Yeah, but listen, but the thing is, I'm agreeing with Ashley Cole for doing that at the end of the day, because he was a valued member of the team who wasn't getting his value's worth. So therefore, football's a short. Listen, hang on. Football's a short career, isn't it? Yeah, at the end of the day, so you got I'm one of these people, I support Arsenal and that, but at the end of the day, mate, look, none of them lot know me. They don't give a fuck about me. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, players, get your money and get out. You know what I mean? If they break their foot, they ain't got a career. You know what I
What,
mean?
are
So,
you and Bellerin boys?
me and Bellerin. Oh, you dickhead. If he ever come use that language with me, mate, I'll stuff him across his mouth.
I'll tell you what. Anyone who watches this podcast,
Yeah.
write your comments down below. Let's see what you think.
Yeah.
You know?
But what I will say with Sol Campbell, yeah, Sol Campbell left to further his career. You know what I mean? He didn't want to leave London. His family's there. They're all settled. You know what I mean? But all he wanted to do was to win trophies.
No,
So
put your arse to rest, G.
he come over and he done that.
Players, yeah, and you see it from this day. And it would be
Just like Ashley Cole.
different back in them days.
Glenn, we stand up. I
Players
can't hear you,
lose
mate.
Money.
What do you mean stand up?
Can't hear you, mate. You're talking at your arse.
Yeah. No,
Oh, listen.
every player moves for money, mate. At the end of the day, and he
My,
weren't getting the money. He weren't getting the money which was offered to him at Tottenham than what Arsenal was offering him. Same way as Ashley Cole went. Same way as half these players went.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go.
Exactly. But I'm consistent in my argument, whereas you boys are blinded by the cock on your shirt.
No, mate. We're blinded by the fucking cannonball and can't hit anything. Go on. What was the question anyway? What was the topic?
Nasri.
It was Nasri.
Yeah, well, let's move on from him because he's an ex-Gooner and no one cares about him.
Right, okay. That brings us on to Rant of the Week. This week, we got Hakan airing his views, anger, dropping some C-bombs, F-bombs, whatever you want to call it. Hack, over to you.
Well, I won't go too bad with my swearing, but if it does flow, it does flow. But my rant of the week this week, Scudamore. I see the figures when he first took over as president or president of the Premier League or chairman of the Premier League, and what he's made a lot of money for a lot of clubs, and I totally see that. I understand that, but I'm sure he hasn't done it for a cheap penny. And the fact that you got that Bruce Buck or whatever his name is from Chelsea, the chairman of Chelsea, trying to gather around 250 grand from each Premier League football club to pay him a £5 million payoff over 3 years. That's an absolute farce, mate. The geezer's a millionaire as it is. That's his job to do that. If he didn't do that, he would be failing. Are we forking out £5 million to a guy for doing his job well? I'm sure he's been bonused well, hasn't he? And I'm sure he weren't bonused 5 or 10 grand. He's bonused a stupid amount of money. That money could be put into grassroots football. It could be put back into the fans. For the fans who travel miles and miles and miles to go and watch their teams play, where I know some clubs do it, but they pay for free transport on away games. But not all clubs do, and we should be putting money back in. It is absolutely a farcical, mate. It's just really bad, and it don't set a good tone for the business side of the Premier League and Premier League clubs.
I've got to come into this rant, right? Because I just think that £5 million isn't enough money. So at the end of the day, we all go to work, yeah? We've all got our jobs, we all go to work. If we hit target, we'll get paid a salary. If we hit targets, yeah, we get bonuses. We bring in new work to our businesses, we get bonuses. All depend on the size of that work. Mate, when the Premier League started off, that was worth £500,000 a year. It's now worth £8 billion a year. Mate, that is an incredible amount of money. He got paid a salary, yes, but he made a big part of these clubs getting more and more money every year that gets given to them for TV rights, etc., etc. £5 million out of £8 billion a year is nothing, mate, at the end of the day. And I think that's where some football supporters go wrong in thinking about it in that way, because it's a bonus. It's his job. It's his job to do what he's done, and he's done very well at it.
It's not a bonus from his work, though. He's already got a bonus from his work. This is a backhander.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. It's a thank you from all the clubs that have turned around and said, do you know what? We was getting 100 grand or 200 grand a week to start, 100 grand a year to start off with. Now we're getting 200 million a year. Do you know what I mean? Thanks to you, which is Scudamore. At least we can do is give you 250 grand at that £200 million each club gets a year to say thank you very much. You've done a marvellous job for us.
Yeah, man. I agree with you there. I think he deserves it, bro.
No,
yeah, 100%. I think it. And if it wasn't for him, would we see the players in the Premier League that we have now if it wasn't for him making them deals? We wouldn't.
Absolutely.
Far
Someone
from
else
it.
being there doing their job and doing.
Nah.
Mate,
And
we've
we
had
got-
the players in the Premier League for years and years and years. We create players from way back in the 90s. Do you know what I mean?
But you
The
think
Premier
we'd
League
have
always
come
been the
on.
best
Cristiano
in the
Ronaldo, mate?
world.
Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? We're talking,
Bro,
we're
Ronaldo
talking
come from
serious
Sporting
now.
Lisbon as a young kid. He made his name in the Premier League.
I think
Yeah,
all we've got to do,
exactly. And how did he get to the Premier League? With Premier League money.
look, guys, I think what we've got to do, is look at where the Premier League's at the moment. Every
Most
every
exciting league
country,
in the world.
every country in the world. Well, let's just take the big like the Spain, Germany. You know what I mean? The top European leagues and that. They all want to have the Premier League model. Hence why Barcelona now are trying to go to America to play that La Liga Spain, and you know what I mean with was it Betis or whoever they were looking to play. You know what I mean? So like everyone wants the big dough, the big money, the spectacular events that we have like over here. And obviously, like as you can see now, all the managers are coming over, the players are coming over because the Spondulis are here.
Let's look at it this way, right? Let's look at it this way. In Spain, right, you got Madrid. When it comes to separating their money that they get given for TV rights, you got Madrid, Barcelona, yeah, Atletico, and maybe I don't know who's Valencia. Is it Valencia still about in there? But do you know what I mean? These clubs, they get the most money. Then as it feathers down the league, they get more and more, and that is why that league is not so unbalanced, but it is relevantly unbalanced. If you look at the Premier League, right, you got 6 teams fighting for the Premier League, right? Okay, that's a bit boyish because I think we're quite confident we know who's going to win the league this year. But you've got 6 teams pushing one another, yeah? Then at the bottom, you've got about 6, 7 teams pushing for survival. Do you understand what I mean? I think the Premier League is by far the most exciting league out there, and that's down to Richard Scudamore. And I think that because of him, he deserves that 5 million, if not more. Do you know what I mean? And football, it's the FA money into grassroots football. Grassroots football is dying because of the FA. But all the FA want to do is eat their prawn sandwiches, drink their drink, work part-time and find the shit out of everybody. Do you understand what I mean? So they can sit there and have their lifestyle. What are the FA doing for grassroots football? Nothing. Nothing. Why should the Premier League do anything? The Premier League is a whole different independent thingy. However, saying that, I do think as clubs, they should be investing or putting some of the money back into grassroots football. I do think that, but that's not their duty to do that.
No, I agree. I think to a certain extent, I think the loser in all of this is the likes of grassroots football and stuff like that. But let's not forget, Scudamore was getting paid £2 million a year, and his contract would have included bonuses and stuff like that. I just think when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, and sorry to take the rant off your hack, but I think
before we start praising Scudamore, let's see how much money he's actually and the Premier League's actually put back into grassroots football. Because Premier League got an 800 billion or whatever money deal, and they made money from it themselves, mate. They're a business. Of course.
Sorry, can I just touch on something? Because you say that I can. I don't know if like on Talk Sport and that, I think like that Simon Jordan, the ex Crystal Palace chairman, he talks a lot of sense, and he was saying a couple of weeks ago that the Premier League, like even when the TV rights come out, they're meant to give grassroots football a certain percentage of that money at the moment, which for the last however many years, 10 years or whatever it is, and they haven't been doing it. If they would have been doing it, that money up till now would have accumulated up to, I think it's £850 million is what they were going to sell Wembley for. You know what I mean? And he's saying like, well, what's the point in selling Wembley if the money that they're selling Wembley for is less than what the money that they should have already accumulated for grassroots football, which they obviously haven't done. You know what I mean? Which obviously been so kind in somebody's back pocket. You know what I mean? And then now to obviously ask the clubs to pay Scudamore even more money is farcical.
Now,
I can see from that point.
Do you think it's
That's
fair?
just another point, yeah.
Do you think it's fair that the likes of Arsenal, Spurs, Everton, Man United, the guys that have been in the Premier League for such amount of time have to pay the same amount as the guys that have come up into the league for 1 or 2 years.
That's what makes the Premier League competitive.
But do you think it's this?
Well,
do you think it's fair that these guys have still got to pay the 250 grand that the other teams have got to pay, even though they've reaped the rewards for much longer?
Okay, well, let's put it this way, right? Say, for example, Huddersfield. If Huddersfield go down next year, how much are Huddersfield going to get?
They get a parachute payment 1 year, don't they?
Do you know what I mean? So they're still getting their money. I think we've failed to realise in this modern day game of football, 250 grand is tuppence.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of money to us, don't get me wrong, but to a club that's working on a multi-million pounds, 250 grand is equivalent to 250 quid or 2,500 quid. So it's not a lot of money for them clubs, and I think they should do it, yeah. I mean, look, to be fair, Glenn just touched on a point where that Jordan was saying, old Crystal Palace chairman Jordan was saying, I've been listening to a bit of talk shite as well, but he's got a point there, you know, like if they've agreed to put money into grassroots football, then they should be doing that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, but yeah, that's my say on that all.
Cool. Hack, anything else for you to finish on your rant?
Nope, I'm good, mate.
No, good.
Just fucking killed it.
So, comes us on to the last topic of the week. So last week, Hakan set the question of what is the best goal ever scored in the Premier League. Now, I've been going through YouTube, watching all Soccer Gold on Sky Sports and stuff like that, and then even trying to narrow it down. And, you know, I think I've got it down to a final three.
And don't forget, he said that it has to be individual goal, not team goals.
No, just whatever goal you thought was the best.
No,
yeah.
I said individual.
He said individual goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all three of mine are anyways. So
well, you only need to have one though, Ellis.
So I'll kick it off with.
Hang on, that's that. Name the Tottenham goal. Go on.
Go on, Gobby.
Right,
you can go
actually, mine
first.
at the Tottenham goal. Who, me?
Yeah, you can go first.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The best goal, the most likeable goal that I've seen is going to come really random from a Spurs fan here, right? And that was Dennis Bergkamp. You know, when he was back to the goal, we flicked it
Against
around,
Newcastle.
spun around. Mate, that was a goal and a half. That is something that was very, very special. And that was something that we've never seen again. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that was the best goal in my personal view. The reason I chose that goal is because the first goal that comes to my head. As soon as the first goal that comes to my head, that to me says it was the best goal that I've seen, that I've really rated and liked. So for me, Dennis Bergkamp against Newcastle.
Cool. G.
Oh mate, do you know what? Boy, that's been mate. That's so
go
many.
on, say an Arsenal one.
No, do you know what? Do you know what? There was a couple of Arsenal ones I was going to put in there, but I thought just for this, because I know how you lot stay, I won't actually pick an Arsenal one, and I'm glad I didn't because you did. But no, to be fair, there's like three that popped out at me. One was Di Canio, where he flicks it up. He flicks not even the scissor kick one, the one where he flicks it up by himself and then just volleys it. I think it's against Chelsea, top corner. That was absolutely delightful. Obviously the Tissier, where he juggles it about 8 times and that, and then cuts in, cuts out, and just kills it in top.
Yeah.
And then my other one was bloody hell, it's gone now, isn't it? Oh no, Scholesy. I think it's against West Ham, corner from Man United on the volley, first time, bang, top corner. I'll go for Scholesy just for the simple fact that the technique is just absolutely unbelievable. To catch it first time, it was just And then and what made it even better is that he went and done it the next week again. Yeah, so for me, it's got
Scholes. Got some highlight. He could pretty much have a highlight reel of his own, I think.
Definitely.
Goals that stood out for me were your Bowers.
Yeah.
Strike against Liverpool. Letizier's goal against Blackburn, where he's like taking on two, three people on, and then Tim Flowers from about 40 yards out. Di Canio's, both the Di Canio goals that you mentioned. But I'm sorry, guys, you might be calling me biased here, but not only because it was scored in a North London derby, but the goal Henry scored against Spurs, where
he took it around all them players.
Got the ball on the edge of his own 18-yard line. It's gone right up the field against taking on the likes of Stephen Carr and stuff like that along the way, and stuck it in the bottom corner. And then rung the length of the Highbury pitch and slid on his knees right in front of the knuckle draggers at the other end and stared at them. So, yeah, the best goal for me is Henry against Spurs.
Don't remember that.
Oh, the best thing about that goal, right? If you look just before he shoots it, and he does a little dummy, you see the Tottenham defenders all fall over each other. Like a bag of Skittles.
Do you know what? It's really funny, right? But I think it was either today or yesterday. I've been seeing it all over Twitter. Arsenal memories. You know what I mean? Arsenal living in the past, didn't they? But yeah, that was a decent goal.
Yeah, well, moving on, guys. Back to
yourself
with my answer. I first of all like to start this off with. I had a massive thought about it, and when I first asked the question, I thought about the question. What did come to my head was that goal, but I'm a Spurs fan, so I definitely can't pick a goon goal. Not a lot of time for Spurs fans, anyway. But my goal and what it meant, the game itself, and what it took to score it's a magical goal. And yeah, all the goals you've said, they're all memorable goals and they're all quality goals. But this goal itself was magic. And if someone goes, right, Arsenal 1-2-1 against Tottenham, and someone goes, right, Aubameyang scored an overhead kick, you go, yeah, shut up, do well, mate, don't believe you. And Wayne Rooney's goal against Man City was just that, top bins, mate. And he meant that. Against his arch rivals, Manchester's arch rivals, that was a goal, and that's my pick, to be honest. But I've got two more little other things I'd like to put out. My most memorable goal as a Spurs fan was, and I remember this goal going in and going absolutely mad, and it was when we was against the Times. It was Peter Crouch against Man City for us to qualify for the Champions League. Attempts, and he scored that goal away at Man City after they spent all that.
Yeah.
I went absolutely mad, and that was a memorable moment.
I remember that clearly.
The best feeling goal, I've got to say,
was
an unexpected one. It was Yunus Kabul rising like a salmon at the Emirates.
Yeah, I remember that goal.
3-2. Yeah, Van der Vaart scored that day as well. That was. I was in London, and I was in this pub in London, mate, and I couldn't help. There was a few goons and I couldn't help but go absolutely mad when that went in.
Did you make a DVD?
No,
I'll tell you what. No, not that one.
5-1. It was the 5-1 slapping we gave you, mate.
I'll tell you what. I've got two other goals I want to throw into this. What is it? All-time Premier League goals.
Yeah. Or you can say your favourite goal that meant to you.
I mean, the favourite goal that meant to me went to me a lot was. Paul Gascoigne, and it's not against because it's Arsenal. You know my selection was Dennis Bergkamp. It was Paul Gascoigne against Arsenal in the semi-finals. 35-yard free kick, beat Seaman, top corner, get in there, my son, right? And do you remember, was it Papa Cisse used to play for Newcastle? Scored that goal against Chelsea. Do you remember that? I mean, what goal was that? It was like bangers like outside of the foot.
It was basically on the touchline, weren't it? And he just hit it on the volley. Yeah.
Oh, mate, what a goal that was as well. There was a lot of goals, man. A lot of decent goals. Do you know what I mean?
There's been. Rooney scored one for Everton quite recently, just inside the team's half, and he's come on and hit it first time. I mean, that's a quality goal in itself.
David Bentley against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's his name? Charlie Stokey, the halfway line chip, like Beckham's.
Charlie Austin. Not Charlie Austin. Charlie
Adams.
Yeah, Charlie Adams. Fucking hell, Dave bastard he was.
What about Paul Robinson's goal?
Oh, yeah. Did Michael get a goal, did he?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
From a corner, with a scrambler.
Did Schmeichel score a header once as well?
Yeah. I think my most favourite goal ever for Arsenal was actually, no, I can't really say that because there's too many, but one that stands out has to be Henry at the Bernabeu. At the Bernabeu to get to the Champions League final. Oh, mate. Well, mate, you got to be in it to win it, Hassan,
That's true, Glenn. That's why we're still in it, mate.
Yeah, that's very true, Glenn.
Yeah, that's very true. At the moment, you are. At the moment. Like I said,
Anyway,
so I'll bring the show to the close on my favourite all goals. We're talking about them. My favourite goal probably is it's probably when Henry came back and we were playing Leeds in the FA Cup and he was on the bench and he came back. Come on, the 12 minutes to go, wearing the number 12, first chance he gets, typical Henry finish, takes the ball down, wide left, opens his body up and curls it in. Yeah, I think it was just, it was almost written in the stars that night that you kind of knew that was going to happen and to get carried away with it. Either that or when Eduardo came back up from a broken leg and scored a hat-trick in his comeback game. Either of those two. Probably my two of my best moments. But
what about Michael Thomas?
It's up for grabs now.
Rocastle.
Yeah, Rocastle's goal against Man United at Old Trafford. Schmeichel, sometimes I think people forget how good Rocky Rocastle was.
Rocky was the man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was shame on him. Rest in peace, mate.
Yeah, even at Leeds, man.
Yeah.
He was fucking sick.
Yeah, definitely. How he didn't have more caps for England, I do not know. But that kind of brings us to the end of the show. Guys, is there anything you want to add before we sign off for the evening?
I want to know what Glenroy's question of the week is next week.
Yes. Sorry. Glenroy.
Yeah. My question of the week is name. I want everyone to come up with, say, if we all come up with 3 each of the players that had the most arrogance but had no game at all. Like, they were just shit, but they thought they were fucking heavy.
One person comes to mind already. But anyway, we'll leave that.
Yeah. So we'll so if we pick 3 each and then we'll come up with our top 3.
Cool. So we'll do that next week. Biggest ego.
Biggest ego flops.
Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah. I think we'll definitely probably agree on one, Glenroy.
Yeah. You know it, don't you?
Yeah. So cool. Don't forget to subscribe, post a comment, like, all that jazz, and don't miss out on the Sports and Banter boxing special coming up in just a few minutes. So, guys, if there's nothing else to add,
don't forget follow us on Twitter, Facebook. If you've got any questions or any comments, just leave them in the Facebook page, the Twitter comments. Twitter's SMB Hangouts on Twitter, and obviously Facebook is at Sports and Banter.
And also, don't forget to like our YouTube page and press the notification button so you know every time we're going live.
Inside.
Right, guys. See you in a minute.